my final red chair chat in my house in Colorado. It's pretty empty. Not a lot going on. I'm taking this furniture set with me. That's why it's still here. I was going to donate it. All my stuff has already left Colorado, and I was going to donate this furniture, but I think I want to keep it. So that's why it's still here, and that's why I get to do my final red chair chat. It is kind of a sad moment. You could probably hear the echo because the house is mostly empty. I don't want my house to be empty. I want to live here for decades and decades. But A, I don't know that I'm going to survive for decades. And B, it's just time to move on, sadly. So, with heavy heart, I bring to you my final red chair chat, at least in this house. But I also wanted to talk about some dreams in my life. This chat is going to be a little bit about my cancer and a little bit about living with an abusive narcissist. Prior to meeting my ex-husband, I never had nightmares. I can't think of any nightmare I ever had, other when I was a little kid. I had nightmares when I was a little kid. But beyond that time, I never had nightmares. I actually had some really angelic type dreams of angels hovering over me and stuff like that. But then I met my ex-husband, and right after I met him, I met him by moving in with him. It's a long story. It started off as a roommate situation and didn't stay that way. But right after I met him and right after we were sharing a room, I started having horrible nightmares, and nightmares about the gates of hell being in his closet. And if I hadn't been 20 years old and kind of young and, no life experience, I might have taken that as a sign for something, but I didn't. So, but I had really bad nightmares. I got really, really sick with all kinds of illnesses right after I met him. And I should have listened to what was going on. And I didn't. So just, like I said, terrible nightmares, like the type like waking up screaming, the movie nightmares, like waking up screaming. And, but then they went away for a long, long, long time. And then I would say they started up again many years later when we lived in Hawaii in 2015. And I started having nightmares again. And once again, I'd wake up screaming kind of nightmares. And, but I wanted to tell you about one dream in particular that ended all the nightmares. Now, when I was having the nightmares when I met my ex-husband, I was not a Christian. And so, I didn't have any knowledge of anything, really. I was 20. I was young, dumb, and stupid. But so in 2015, I was a Christian, and I started having these nightmares again. And after I started having them, I'd had a few of them, and I finally was mulling over this whole nightmare situation. And I finally thought, the next time I have a nightmare, I'm going to call upon the name of Jesus. So I had a nightmare, and it's funny how, I was able to bring my real life thoughts into my dream. So my final nightmare, and I don't know if this was a nightmare, I don't know what you would categorize it as, but my final nightmare, and I don't think I've had any since then. I was at a wedding, and at this wedding I was sitting on the far left side of the room. I was in the last person in the row of seats, and the next to me was a wall, there's like a walkway and then a wall. And so as I was at the wedding watching the wedding, the wall opened up, and it kind of just disintegrated. It just disappeared. And the scenery beyond the wall was what in my head and my dream was the angel of death coming at me on a horse. And he was just galloping at high speed for Sorry, I've got somebody messaging me. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I hope not, but hopefully you could hear what I just said. Anyway, so the wall disintegrated and the angel of death was coming for me. And he was on a horse and he was coming at full gallop, full speed. And the oddest thing about this dream was that I was very calm. I wasn't afraid. And I very slowly turned towards this angel of death. And I looked at him and I said to him, "You can't have me. I belong to Jesus." And as soon as I said that, that wall closed up and everything went back to normal. And I turned back to the wedding and I went back to the wedding and I woke up. So I think back to that dream now. And by the way, like I said, that was the end of all my nightmares. I haven't had another nightmare since then. And I think back to that dream that the Lord brought that dream back to my mind here recently. And I believe, well, I don't know. Hello, whoever's watching. I don't know who it is, but thank you for being here. But I believe that that dream was prophetic for my life. It was informing me, which I had no idea at the time, that a major life catastrophe was coming that looked like death. I don't know. The way I'm interpreting it now, based on what I know in life right now, is that it was letting me know that I was going to have a life-threatening illness and that it wasn't going to take me. Of course, it's maybe wishful thinking. I don't know. I'm not a dream interpreter. I'm not Joseph. So maybe that's not what it was at all. Maybe it was just Satan's last little push to get me. Maybe it has nothing to do with my health at all. But I'd like to believe that it means that that I, maybe because, when I was diagnosed with cancer, they told me that this has probably been growing for the last 10 years in your body, because colon cancer is a very slow growing cancer. And so maybe that's when the cancer started. And maybe, that I was given that dream so that I would know that I would beat the cancer. At least in my dream, I was like, "You can't have me. I belong to Jesus." So I don't know. I mean, maybe it has nothing to do with my illness or my sickness at all, but I hold on to that, hoping that, whenever I start getting down and feeling like, I'm going to be gone in a couple of years, it's going to, my life is going to be over. And I start thinking about that dream, like, well, maybe not. Maybe the angel of death is coming for me with the cancer, but he can't have me because I belong to Jesus, and Jesus is going to heal me. I don't know. I would like to believe that. So we'll see. I guess we'll all see what happens. But I know that dream wasn't for nothing. And I don't believe that the dreams that I was having way back when I first met my ex were for nothing either. I think they were kind of prophetic too. And if I'd had any kind of life knowledge at that time at 20 years old, I think it's possible that it was telling me to get the heck out of there. Don't, stay away from this guy. The angel, the gates of hell are in his closet and you need to get away. But did I do it? No. Stupid me. But I always feel like I regret, being with him. But then I think, well, if I hadn't, then I wouldn't have my kids and my grandkids. And I'm crazy about all of them. So I would never give any of them up for nothing. Every bit of misery that I lived through for 25 years is worth it to get my kids and my grandkids, because they're all wonderful and I adore them. So I would do it all over again for them. But that was my dream. Those were my dreams. And just thought I'd share that with you guys in my very last Red Chair Chat in my empty home. There's a piano. Anybody want a piano? I can't stand the idea of trashing a piano. It just seems wrong. So I'm going to leave it in the house, and whoever buys my house gets a free piano. All right. Well, I hope y'all are doing well. I'm going to head out of here for a little bit while I wait for the last guy that's going to come and get some of the last little bits of trash stuff that needs to go. And then I will be just about done with this house. Crazy, huh? Anyway, see you guys later. Have a great day. And next time I do see you, I will probably be in Missouri. Bye for now.